One, two. Oh, yes. So, my name is Klaus. I have some books over there. If you buy 2 of them, I'll give you a Herring Clan anthology free. And I should say, I'm feeling very political, so I'm going to read 3 political novels in politics. But my books are not mostly politics, they're mostly, the vast majority is other stuff, although politics is in everything I write. Also, I host a poetry open mic called Carry On in Cary on the second Wednesday of every month, and there's some flyers over there. There are also flyers on how to contact your representative or senator if you want to talk about an issue. And then I also have, over there you have to ask me, but I have 2 poems about Gaza that you can have. And don't forget Occupy Palestine. I mean, now it seems like it's taken a back seat to everything, but people are in worse condition than ever, every day. So anyway, this first one is called, there's something called the American's Creed. I'll read that first, and then I wrote something called the American's Creed. American's Creed. I believe that the United States of America is a government of the people, by the people, for the people, whose just powers are derived from the consent of the governed, democracy, and a republic, a sovereign nation of many sovereign states, a perfect union, one and inseparable, established upon those principles of freedom, equality, justice, and humanity for which American patriots sacrificed their lives and fortunes. I therefore believe it is my duty to my country to love it, to support its Constitution, to obey its laws, to respect its flag, and to defend it against all enemies. Okay, this is the American's Creed. I believe that the United States of America is a government of the corporations, by the politicians, for the patricians, whose jobbery-tainted powers are derived from the consent of the gullible, a plutocracy disguised as a democracy, a selfish nation made up of so many even more selfish states, a wildly imperfect and unstable union of the open and cold-hearted, many insufferable, established upon those principles of feudalism, empire, jingoism, and inhumanity for which America's poor and slaves were and are forced to sacrifice their lives and fortunes. I therefore believe it is my duty to my country to loathe it unless and until it revives its principles of freedom, equality, justice, and humanity, and follows its own constitution, to oppose its unjust laws, to reveal its flaws, to suspect its white, bruised, and bloody flag of indoctrination, and to defend it against all of its enemies, namely racists, sexists, capitalists, homophobes, demagogues, warmongers, hypocrites, proselytizers, propagandists, ethnocentrists, anti-environmentalists, and tin pot patriots.
Nice.
So this is from my book, Lurker's Grave. It's called Fascist. I thought I was a liberal, once a communist even, sometimes a Taoist or a Buddhist, often an existentialist. But now I must admit that I am a fascist, part of a group that I profess to hate. And I am a conservative, a Christian fundamentalist, a neo-Nazi, a Stalinist, a Zionist colonizer, a Muslim terrorist, and an agent of the CIA. I am all the wicked things I do not fight against, and I am all the evils not defeated yet, those defects in myself and in all others, as well as those of all societies and all past, presents, and futures. I am all men, and so I am fully implicated in all men's crimes. I have failed first to perfect myself. I have failed next to push all other beings in a positive direction, from education, legislation, demonstration, and/or revolution. Society's failures are my own, and as a result of my not having cured its ailments, I am left to be reinfected by it at best, or completely reformulated by it at worst. I am a criminal for just existing when I know that any crime is being committed anywhere. Not crimes against law, but real crimes against justice, peace, life. I'm a collaborator when I am not resisting the full weight of my mind, body, and soul. I must fight with every breath I breathe, using every precious second of time during which I have been graced to live, utilizing every skill and contributing every energy I have to advance society toward the truth as I know it, feel it, and believe it. Otherwise, my life is just ill after the growing pile of filth. Talk is much more comfortable than bleeding, so give me the fascist salute as I saunter by on my way to the next poetry reading. Past the ghettos and the beggars, the ignorant, the hungry, the violent and violated, the misguided, the perpetrators, the anti-democratic, the fooled and the fucked, the abused, the living dead, the human waste, the mortal cogs, and the angelic slugs. For I am the best reflection of this world, and it is the truest reflection of me, ugly. I am fascist, I am bankrupt, I am guilty. Please hunt me down and kill me tenderly. Which I'd like to dedicate to the Palestinians and all the people in all the occupied territories and all the people suffering around the world. And I always read other people's poems last because they're so great I don't want to follow them. But this is called I'm Explaining a Few Things. We were going to ask, and where are the lilacs? And the poppy-petaled metaphysics? And the rain repeatedly spattering its words and drilling them full of apertures and birds? I'll tell you all the news. I live in a suburb of Madrid, with bells and clocks and trees. From there, you could look over Castile's dry face, the leather ocean. My house was called the House of Flowers, because in every cranny, geraniums burst. It was a good-looking house, with its dogs and children. Remember, Raul? Hey, Rafael. Frederico, do you remember from under the ground my balconies on which the light of June drowned flowers in your mouth? Brother, my brother. Everything loud with big voices, the salt and merchandises, pile-ups of palpitating bread, the stalls of my suburb of Ordeas with its statue like a drained inkwell and a swirl of hake. Oil flowed into spoons, a deep baying of feet and hands swelled in the streets. Meters, liters, the sharp measure of life. Stacked up fish, the texture of roofs, with a cold sun in which the weather vane falters. The fine, frenzied ivory of potatoes. Wave on wave of tomatoes rolling down the sea. And one morning, all that was burning. One morning, the bonfires leapt out of the earth, devouring human beings. And from then on, fire. Gunpowder from then on. And from then on, blood. Bandits with planes and Moors. Bandits with finger rings and duchesses. Bandits with black friars spattering blessings came through the sky to kill children. And the blood of children ran through the streets without fuss, like children's blood. Jackals the jackals would despise. Stones that the dry thistle would bite on and spit out. Vipers that the vipers would abominate. Face to face with you, I have seen the blood of Spain tower like a tide to drown you in one wave of pride and knives. Treacherous generals, see my dead house. Look at broken Spain. From every house, burning metal flows instead of flowers. From every socket of Spain, Spain emerges. From every dead child, a rifle with eyes. From every crime, bullets are born. Bullets that will one day find the bullseye of your hearts. And you'll ask, why doesn't his poetry speak of dreams and leaves and the great volcanoes of his native land? Come and see the blood in the streets. Come and see the blood in the streets. Come and see the blood in the streets.
Yes, and make sure that you promote if you are have a gig or anything that you're going to do. There's some seats down here. Yeah, nobody's sitting in the front one. So, yay! So I was like, wait, I was telling them, nobody wants to sit there like a church, nobody wants to sit in the front seat. See you guys. So we've got, I love Pablo. My favorite one of us is I want to do to you what the cherry trees do in the spring. And yeah, make sure you promote. And the snapping, I love that. What a great crowd we have here tonight. So the next people will be Sydney, Carla, and Sonia. Right? So, yeah, Sydney. Where's, hey,
This is called microdosing and sentimentality. Now and then, nostalgia sharpens its edges, reaching into my heart's core. How to feel a glimpse of love once tightly knitted to a patch within my soul. I let laughs rise and settle. I let tears fall and soak my t-shirt for as long as the polyester cotton blend can handle. Now and then, nostalgia taps its soft edges into my heart's core. How to feel the ounce of hope that love once left would be a love looped back. I let laughs rise and settle. I let tears fall into crevices of my quivering lips until the saltiness becomes unpleasant. Human experience means human mistakes. You will be forgiven by some, but not by all. Perpetually penalized by nostalgia's hum.
Where's Carla? Where's Carla? Oops, where's my mic? I can do this without walking up there. Next one is Carla. Yeah, there she is. Yeah. Did you want us to skip? Are you good? Okay, cool. I don't think we've had a baby here before. So do we need to, keep our language clean for the baby side?
I wrote this when Sydney said she was going to come here, so. Shooting star. Made by me. Unexpected baby, a shooting star. This human now. Sorry. This human now. I can't. Maybe I should skip.
You want me to hold it for you? Yeah, can we hold it?
Hold them up.
No, somebody stole my tears because. Unexpected baby, a shooting star. This human now here grown from the power of love. Unexpectedly yet grown purposely, stripped with strongly. First all the double lines, embodying the stars that came with a punch, loving little master in your touch. One of a kind made by us. You wish that came true from above in my room.
Sonia, are you ready to follow that video? Thank you. Right. So I got this new mic stand, so we got a tall person now. I have to do this one. Okay.
Hear me? Alright, I'm still old school. I like to read from the paper and write on paper. This first one is titled Glass Penguin. Shiny glass penguin of black, clear, and white. I see your presence watching over me. Your beak held high, your wings held out to greet each new day as a pillar of strength. One of my mother's favorites, not sure where you're from. While packing her things to move her closer to me, she said in a tired voice, "Don't forget to pack my penguin." I found you in her kitchen a few days after she passed. I dusted you off and inspected your glass. You reminded me of her, beautiful, playful, and strong. I could see through parts of you, others remain opaque. You were both heavy and fragile, cold to the touch. I gave you a new home. You sometimes wobble when I shut a drawer and I say out loud, "Mom, is that you?" You make me miss her so much. But sometimes I just want to roll you up in bubble wrap, put you in a nice box, and pack you away. This next one's pretty heavy. It's called Let Go. I felt your breath heavy on my face. Body space, not in your vocabulary. snarling voice between gritted teeth. Couldn't think of a single goddamn thing I did to deserve this much hatred. Enemy under my roof, tension so thick I could cut it with a knife. Bolt locked for bedroom and camera installed. Felt like a victim of terror in my own home. Feeling homeless now. Your fixated demands and manipulation to no end. So many sleepless nights, the sheer disrespect of unfiltered words from your mouth, the curl of your lips and demon-like laughter when you saw my stress heighten. Your resistance to my love was your game. All of my olive branches cut down and thrown away. I was your nurturing enemy. And if I ignored you, you wanted more chaos. There was no winning with you until I let you go. This one's the newest one. It's also the title of the book I just self-published.
Really?
It's called Mind Swirl. Locked in a mind swirl, held in captivity, question after question, rarely any answers. Decisions were rare too. Hours go by, staring out the window, sitting on a bench, thoughts adrift in and out, but mostly swirl around with no direction, no end in sight. I'm trapped in here and want to break free, but honestly can't think of where I'd rather be. Don't want to burden others or try to explain, so I continue to sit alone in my own brain.
So where can you find the book?
Where can you find the book? Lulu.com.
Lulu.com. And what was the name of it again?
Mind Swirl.
Mind Swirl.
Swirl.
Swirl. Mind Swirl. Cool. So, awesome. We have, let's see, that was Sydney. So we need Natalie, then Nick, and then Peru. So, Natalie. Now, Natalie, I think this is the first time you've been to Freshly Brewed. Awesome. Oops. You got it? Like I said, it's a new. All right. I did it. It's all good.
Fallen leaves. The tree is bare. Leaves blanket the ground. Slowly they decay and provide nourishment for new life. But the tree is not dead. It is in its own hibernation, waiting for spring. There is still life. Don't be afraid. Release the bitterness of the cold. Be still, and know that God is bringing new growth. I exist. I feel. I wait for the healing to come. I wish I could just escape, not confront all the lies that settled inside. But I must look in the mirror, acknowledge the reality. If I should ever truly anticipate change, to do more than exist, to genuinely live. Apathetic or alive? My eyes are shut, my heart inactive, dormant. Stand on your guard. Something begins to tingle. There is movement, a stirring, deeper still, from my spirit into my soul, into my body. My feet want to dance. There is a longing to be held, a desire to adore, to dance together, a sacred dance of love.
Sounds good. I guess I hope you can keep going back and down. Thank you. Hope you come back kids again. Matt, that was Natalie. So we have Nick and then Peru. I like this, like N and N and P. Awesome. And Nick's been here for, hasn't seen us, haven't seen you in a while, have you? So he's taking care of this now. Awesome.
Okay, this first one is a newer poem. It's called The Carolina Moon #2. Last night the moon shone bright in the night sky right through my open blinds in my third floor apartment window right here in Wake Forest, North Carolina, right outside of Raleigh. I looked up at the bright live incandescence around the moon like a candle burning in the night. And I felt a moment of inspiration at the sight. The moon shone through the tops of the tall southern trees, and the branches were silhouetted against the Carolina night sky. How to capture this moment? Then I remembered that at this very time, at an indistinct time, right about now, the Artemis II space capsule carrying 4 astronauts was about to make a flyby around the dark side of the moon before it performed a slingshot around the back of the moon and shot right back to Earth on a journey that should last about 4 more days from now. It turns out that the approach to the moon and flyby around the dark side of the moon was to take place all day and evening starting this coming afternoon. I could not see the dark side of the moon, of course, nor the Artemis II space capsule soaring away from Earth and approaching the moon, but I could see the bright side of the moon shining down to me here on Earth at just the perfect angle through my apartment window to me, and partially obstructed by the tops of the tall trees outside. I could not tell if through the silhouetted branches waving in the breeze in the night sky, the moon was a full moon or an elliptical 3/4 moon, only almost full. All I could see was the brightness of the visible moon shining bright to me there in the night sky. This coming evening, the Artemis II capsule would fly around the dark side of the moon, out of radio contact with Earth for some long minutes. It would mark the furthest point humans have ever flown away from Earth. It would also mark the first time in 50 years that humans have approached that closely to the moon. Despite this notable advance in human space technology and presence, it is said still that for us humans still down here on Earth, the moon is for lovers, loving together outside at night in the light of our moon. And I would note, the moon has been and remains at present time an iconic subject for poets and poetry, including in particular this poem. At this time and previously in a similar poem as seen through my apartment window over 10 years ago in Charlotte, North Carolina. How to capture this very moment in astronomy and human spaceflight and this ongoing inspiration in poetry? Simple. Write a poem about it. And this other one, the next couple poems are from my book, published a couple of years ago now. It's called From the Streets to the Friendly Skies and Everything in Between. It's available over there on the counter. Okay, this one is called A Tribute to Albany. That's Albany, New York, by the way. That's good. For Tom Nattell, 1952 to 2005. He was a poetry open mic host in Albany, New York. You know, Socrates never published a word. Before his arrest and execution, there was just the man, Socrates, out there in public, asking his questions, those questions without end, engaging in dialogue, seeking some kind of meaning, some kind of expression, some kind of understanding. He attracted followers, fostered a little community, sort of a little gang who practiced local drive-by critical thinkings whenever and wherever they could. They and he developed an entire ideology, the first Weltanschauung, all credited back to that one creative man. So to all of you and us who labor day in and day out fostering our own little community, our own little scene, our own little movement, just remember, Socrates never published one word.
Hope for us all.
Yes. And this last one takes a turn to New York City a few years ago. It's titled Homelessness and the Lord Jesus. A woman on the street asked me if I believed in the Lord Jesus. Yes, I said meekly. Then get yourself off the street, she pronounced. Jesus would not have us living this way. I tried to remember all the reasons I chose to move back here. It's hard to recall. Go back to your family in Charlotte, she said, but I am not collapsing yet. Thank you.
You have some books too.
You have some books as well, don't you?
Yeah, from the streets to the friendly skies, and they're right back there.
Yeah.
On sale.
We're all about
Self-promotion here. We want everybody to succeed. So if you have a gig or anything like that, we do have a seat up here. Apologize, everybody, we're running out of seats. But awesome, you guys take it. There's 4 seats out there here. The baby's got to go sleep. Have a good time. Thank you guys for coming. So the next people we have would be Peru, and then Dakota, and then Steve.
oh, sorry.
Hi everyone, it's me Paru, and I am an artist. And if you're looking for a girl, a mountain girl who can paint your story, maybe it's me. Okay, I have 2 points. The title of my poem is First Strawberries. It was a blue kind of, windy kind of day, the kind that says, hurry up, go home. I was driving past my neighbor's ad when suddenly a little boy stopped and whole afternoon. Strawberries, fresh strawberries. And there stood a little girl with a curly hair in a blue shirt, butterfly blue jeans, and freckles sprinkled softly like a cinnamon above her nose. Strawberries baskets on the table, and beside her a wooden sign dancing wildly in the wind, and as if it's wishing to be kite someday. The sign said, do you like strawberries? They are from my own garden. 1 bag for $2. Oh, how could I not stop? How could I not smile? And hiding near the bushes was a sneaky little rabbit, nose twitching, eyes sparkling, dreaming strawberries dream. It was not something you see every day in this busy, busy world. So I parked my car and walked towards her, and I saw her helper, her business partner, a little boy, carefully picking fallen strawberries from the grass. The little girl stood tall and said, Miss, I am Virginia, and he is Jackson. Would you like to have some strawberries? We grow them in our own garden. They are tasty. Such manners, such sweetness. I laughed softly, of course. I said, who doesn't love strawberries? The little boy, grinned wide and ran into the house, fast like a rocket chasing the moon. He came back holding a small paper bag. Virginia opened the basket and carefully picked the very best strawberries for me. And then a mysterious bunny leaped straight into the basket and ran away in a furry panic. Strawberries rolled everywhere, across the road, across the grass. I never knew a bunny could act like a monkey.
donkey when strawberries were involved. I looked at Virginia. She looked at me, and those eyes. Oh, those eyes. Those brave little eyes trying not to cry. And suddenly, drop, drop, drop. Little river appeared on her cheeks. Oh, Bunny, she whispered, why? Then softly she said, it is ruined now, miss. I cannot sell my dirty strawberries. I looked back. The little boy and even the guilty Bonnie seemed busy trying to gather what they could. And I spoke, Miss Virginia, I still want to buy them. And do you know one secret? She wiped her eyes. A secret? Yes, I said. One strawberry carries hundreds of seeds, and every seed can grow another strawberry plant. Her eyes grew like a moon. Really? Really? She picked up strawberries and began counting the seed. 1, 2, 3, 5, 20, 50, 100. And she laughed and shouted, 1,000! Just like that, counting turned into smiling and smiling into laughing. Then I held up Muddy Berry and spoke, something that grows from the earth cannot be ruined by the earth. I drove home carrying a small bag of strawberries and a very good story to share. And do you know something funny? Some of those strawberries become planned in my yard. Tiny green sapling. And this morning I saw the very first baby strawberry bloom. A little soft white flower waving in the wind, and I named it Virginia. Thank you. And here's another poem. The title of the poem is You and I Together. Dear man, I know we're different, yet not different in the ancient essence of being. Before poetry, before language, before kingdom, before God was given a name, there was a breath, your breath, my breath, burning like two flames, discovering they were born from the same fire. When we meet, it was not man against woman, nor woman against man. When we meet, two wandering souls stand barefoot before the same eternal mystery. You arrive carrying the thunder in your bone and the scent of forest upon your skin. And I arrive wrapped in river, wearing the fragrance of wet earth after rain. You looked at me. Your eyes undressed my silence. When we meet, two seekers exchange the depth of the heart, bringing clarity to the mind. You and I are pure harmony. As I speak as a woman, standing upon her ground, you rise as a man, standing beneath the endless sky. And we open, God. We open like a flower splitting towards the sun, and you and I are fire and here. Together we are the pure desire of music. Your story burns like a volcanic gold on the walls of an ancient cave. Yes, we all know you were once a caveman, and perhaps you're still proud of it. My story carved your glory into the heart of the singing cave. You were art longing to be expressed, and I, the artist. You and I together, pure nectar of nature. As you made your path through reason, I stepped mine through wisdom. You are the wild current rushing through the mountain river, and I, the stone at its center, growing wild flowers within your flow. You made me wilder, and I made you tender. And together we became something neither heaven nor earth could control. A pulse beneath creation itself, primitive, divine. You and I together are pure orgasm. Oh, dear man, if you desire a flower, remember the soil is never dug to the flower, but home. And if you desire a woman, her emotion, you already know that, don't you? That is why you and I together are the dangerous, dazzling excitement of life itself. And for me, one infinite moment, life itself climaxes through us. Thank you.
Thank you, Gloria. I appreciate that. We do have some seats up here. If you guys aren't comfortable back there, Judy and them, if you wanted to move, we'll take a little break because that's a little precarious. Those coffee tables are kind of, yeah. So yeah, please fill us in up here. So cool. Thank you. We've got Dakota, then Steve, and then Bob. How's that sound? So, Dakota. We'll desert you. You can.
Hey, good evening, everyone. I'm Dakota. So for this month, May is actually Mental Health Awareness Month, which is a topic I'm very passionate about. So my first poem is called Mental Health Awareness Month. Speak up and focus on getting better. According to the CDC, in 2023, 12.8 million Americans had considered suicide. 3.7 million made a plan, 1.2 million attempted, and over 49,000 ended their lives. 18.3% of U.S. adults are diagnosed with depression. 31% of people 18 to 30 are as well. There's so much hate, there's so much anger, and so much stress. Many hide it and say, I'm okay. But that's not okay. It's okay to need help, love, and support. To push yourself towards a life that makes you happier. Because a life without self-love is a life of self-abandonment. Check out your resources. NAMI offers many group sessions and resources that help guide you towards solutions. The Trevor Project for those in the LGBTQ+ community. Movember.com for men's mental health and suicide prevention. Seek recovery if your mental health is due to substance abuse. This is a reminder to never give up on yourself, never let yourself down, never run around and desert yourself. You'll make many people cry when you say goodbye, so don't tell a lie and say that you're fine. Thank you. And then my next poem is a poem that actually brought me in here to begin with. And I'm just going to be honest, after about 5 to 6 years of being depressed myself, I finally kind of started figuring things out, and it was a poem that got me out of the gutter. This is a poem called I Choose Happiness. Life is filled with challenges, storms we never asked for, paths we didn't choose, where we are born, who we love, or the state of the world we live in. Life is too short to be miserable all the time, and there is one thing I hold on to. I choose how I respond, and I choose happiness. I choose to see the light at the end of the tunnel, the sun coming out at the end of the storm, and the positives of a dark time. When I choose positivity, I treat myself with kindness. I make the world a better place. It does not erase the pain of a hard time, but it helps me get through it. When I choose positivity, I choose the relationships that help me grow, that fill up my cup, who remind me that I am enough. I choose happiness. I choose the small things as well as the big. My dog's reactions when I get home from work, the beauty of nature around me, the joy of a successful session at 110 Yoga, a rugby practice where I did better than I did yesterday, the warmth of good people and cherished memories, and the light that waits beyond the dark. You can stay in the tunnel and sit in the darkness, or you can walk towards the light. And I choose happiness again and again and again, because every day is another great day to be great.
Woo! Thank you, Dakota. I appreciate that. Got Steve, then Bob, and then Ezekiel. Do you need help with the microphone?
Still on? Alright. How's everybody this evening? Everybody hear me okay? I feel like taking some risks tonight. So the first thing I'd like to say, if I don't destroy any equipment, I appreciate your courage and coming up there tonight, speaking. Debbie, thank you for bringing this all together. Sonia, you're being published tonight. I look at Deb, some of the things she's done to mentor some of us. CK, people that have gotten books out there. I really admire the forums that you pull together. Klaus, you're in the middle of everything. I appreciate what you do and who you are. I love your books. I love your poetry. I like our rapport and our one-on-one conversations. I'm going to start to get a little momentum so I can build some strength. A little nervous tonight because to try something different.
Shake it out.
I'm going to try something different tonight. We'll get to it. As some of you may know, I've been here a couple times. I try to get a feel for the vibe of what people are communicating and sharing with themselves, and I want to try to build from that and be a part of it. I like community. I like different voices. I like different opinions. I love being American, and I think this is an example of how we celebrate together. We may disagree. We may say something that, someone else may not agree with. I love America. We're doing good things and trying to figure things out. Debbie, the forums you provide for this poetry, they help me. Lord knows I'm a bit in trouble these days. All right, so the first one I'm going to read is called Versing. And just for sake of context, the title of it is Verse, all capitalized, and then lowercase ing. To it. Versing. Somewhere over the rainbow. You will not be. Somewhere tomorrow, you will not be. Tomorrow, next week, anytime after, or anytime after, over that rainbow, you will not be. Your hold has run its course, and will not be the impact of history. It will not cease. But you will not be. The chains that have held me for so many recent years will not be. The over, the under, the in-between ceases and will not be. The trauma, the hurt, the pain, not gonna end. But it will not define me. The quit, the abandonment, the neglect, the inflicted damage. But you, your actions, your inactions, your deceit has in fact set me free. But not
Do a metaphorical drop.
Okay.
Seems expensive.
Send me a bill. All right, here we go. This is a little risk taking. First thing I'd like to say, I got a little comfortable for the most part coming here, and I look at Debbie, I look at Klaus, and you're next on the list in terms of tongue groove or someday, somewhere, somehow. This is really liberating for me. It's very therapeutic, for lack of better words. I just love the community that brings us together. And I think of you, and you had this poetry at one of Klaus's events that you started singing. It moved me. So guess what's going to happen tonight? Guess what's going to happen tonight? This is the first. Pull the tomatoes. Pull the tomatoes. This is the celebration of Simon's book, Klaus, Debbie, everybody helping everybody out, okay? Bob, you're my witness. I'm out of control. I'm outrageous. I want to give a shout out to April Page. She, if you know her, she's a tremendous, renowned artist. She lives in Durham. She's somebody that supports all of what we do. She's been here supporting us before. She loves the spoken word. She calls it written art. And she's a singer. And I told her about Klaus's punk rock band. I was trying to link them together when he did. The last time I was at his event, language that was bad. So anyway, it was wild. It was wild. So I'm just going to start to try to sing. I've never done this, so bear with me. And I'm okay being recorded because maybe we can see before and after. Here, all right, here we go. Freebird, Leonard Skinner. And this goes back to my days at Virginia Commonwealth University. I won't get into the details. If I leave here tomorrow, would you still remember me? For I must be traveling on now, 'cause there's too many places I've got to see. But if I stay here with you, girl, things just couldn't be the same. 'Cause I'm as free as a bird now, and this bird you cannot change. Oh, this bird you cannot change. And this bird you cannot change. Oh, Lord knows I can't change. Here we go. Bye-bye. It's bittersweet love, yeah. Though this feeling I can change. But please don't take it so badly. 'Cause Lord knows I'm to blame. But if I stay here with you, girl, things just couldn't be the same. 'Cause I'm as free as a bird now, and this bird you cannot change. Oh, and the bird you cannot change. And this bird you cannot change. Lord knows I can change. Lord help me, I can't change. and is friends with Elton John. He'll find out about this. I'm gonna let him know. Thanks for that. I'm still here. I survived. Thanks for your I'm gonna go back to the momentum. I did 3.
That's right. Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
I don't know if that was a tomato or what.
No, I was trying to protect my microphone. Let's make sure it's for the minute. It's looking a little precarious. Sorry.
So it's nice to have an impact of some sort. So I'd like to ask the audience before I do my next one. I'm choosing between 1 and 2. Should I do moderate or hardcore?
Hardcore!
There you go.
Thank you. Here we go. Okay. I just want to make sure you know that what I'm about to read is not necessarily dedicated to you, but some of the women in the audience. Here we go. How do you keep me at bay? Tethered by a leather strap that I'd like to use on you. Close in distance, like miles from the promised land, I maintain prisoner status. Captured by thoughts of your geography, through your valleys, across the mountains into your guarded treasure. Ah, the path of yearning. The road having traveled so many, many miles. These past few years. You pull me close at times, even closer within inches. I shy away from the contact that we both want, or so I choose. I see you yet again. One shoulder toga. Fall majestically to your right. Slowly, slowly to the ground, revealing your splendor. I'm visually imprisoned through this living art, overwhelmed by the words and companion thoughts I cannot speak. How I want to share these slow and gentle caresses that were play on end, heightened to a sprint, transported inside you within this mind. These sentiments shared, intermittently shared with you in what has become an unadulterated tale that speaks in and of itself in stirring fashion. As you get close, but not close enough, we share without words the draw ever present. You know the cravings, you know the residuals, strewn about the trails as the hunger goes unfed. When you really look at me and bring your armor down, you see how my eyes confess. Before looking ahead, but what I've seen, slight tremble across your lips. Slight heave. A deep breath. Your full breast. The crimson embedded across your face. The signals peak. I remain curious as to your capacity, as to you maintaining your hold in the leash in hand. I yield to the wants, your wants, despite the ebbs and flows. They keep it late at night. Yet wanting to know where your tenders reside, what you really think, how you really feel, how you really taste. Alas, I continue to look beyond into the source of my desire. Thus of the rapture, I ask if I dare you, share the goods, share the strap, set me free.
What happened to the stand?
I broke it.
I know. Steve has been coming since we were over at Larry's Coffee right second. I think Bob also has been coming for a while too. So Bob is next, then Ezekiel, Judy, then June, that I know.
Such is the magnificence of spring, for each year rebirth she does bring. As winter's gray glacial gloom yields to vibrant flowers in bloom, with ardent ethereal starlight and dawn's singing sparrows in flight, where luxuriant dapple, green and violet meadows rejoice, blushing as love finds her passionate voice. And in the spring, Salter Path. On this May eve at the beach of Salter Path, over bare feet languid waves are lapping, whereupon I am strolling with a graceful, softly talking and laughing. She is gentle in her manners, and the conversation shows the warmth in her heart. Come on, call our fellow beachcombers, yet they cannot draw us apart. With salty ocean breezes and a myriad of stars shining along with the moon, our little duet will leave footprints in the sand till dawn, day, noon. And now moonbeams are conjuring a misty golden halo upon her flowing hair. Ah, do I now reach out to hold her hand and kiss, kiss, kiss? Oh, do I dare?
I especially like the duet footpaths. I think that's what, footprints, the duet footprints. Was that what you said? There's something like that. Yeah. So we've got Ezekiel, Judy, and June.
What happened to the bendy stand? I like the bendy stand.
I got some criticism about it one
No.
yeah.
So it goes.
It lost its little screw thing, I think.
Tragic.
Yeah.
I'm Ezekiel. I do poetry sometimes. If you'd like to follow me, I look like this. Thank you. I've had a crazy couple of months. So I'm going to do poetry about it, because that's what you do.
That's what you do.
This is called Centimeters into a Marathon. Crack! That's the gun. Did you forget to run 8 a.m. Fridays, making lunch for work? The phone goes off. It's your girlfriend. She has called you to inform you that she is 4 weeks pregnant. Fuck. This 3x11 kitchen is suddenly a situation room. You are suddenly Robert Hayes from Airplane. Your shirt and tie is suddenly drenched in kiddie pools of sweat, just comical amounts of sweat. Welcome to Parenthood, baby. Weighing in at 6'1" and 168 pounds, it is Ezekiel Snyder, heavyweight champ of being a dad soon. Now the only question the crowd has is, will he make it? Say it with me. Will he make it? Make it. Will I make it? Please tell me I can make it, that I can do this. I call my uncle to tell him. He laughs for a solid minute and tells me for an hour that it's going to be okay. That he was scared too. I get stuck behind the father driving his kids somewhere while they danced in the backseat, and I remember I can enjoy this if I choose to. That even though I'm only 5 days of being a dad, I could choose to see a future where I'm a father and my child will be dancing in the back seat because he loves to be with his father, because his father is safe, because he's the heavyweight champ. Big moves, I'm having a kid. I did marry too. So I gotta remember, that's cool. I'm engaged. Yeah, I've got a lot going on. I'll do this next one, it's all very topical.
about the process of how, ideally, as you grow older, you are becoming better than your parents, and they were doing that with their parents, and they were doing that with their parents. So just on that concept, I wrote this poem called Heritage. My dad yelled at me because his dad yelled at him. The difference being when darkness was heavy and the stars began to bark, his dad's head was consumed in smoke, laying deep in a casket waiting for the mouth cancer to sharpen his words. Yet when the setting sun's tired and hand-pierced rays ran through my father, he was not moved to the same kind of violence. When deathly quiet stood on his doorstep, he swore to be a better man. Now I yell at you, because it's all I've ever known, and I can't face what you might say to me. The night sky bent down and told me I'd be a man one day, but my lamp is dim and moonlight is a silent thing, brushing past in waves, washing away the smoke and the booze. And when it spoke its peace, silence was broken, and my meteorite stone of a father stood over me. Swaying deeply in the waves, my dad took me by the shoulders, tears in his hardened eyes. You have to be better, Ezekiel! You have to be better! If I yell in a room full of people, maybe it matters what I say, but the question remains, does anyone hear me? He told me it matters what I scream when the night sky listens, when no one can yell back. When I'm old, and the darkness is heavy, when the sky begins to bark, I'll stop yelling, and maybe my son won't have to yell at all. Thank you. This next one's a bit more general, just kind of about big thoughts. I wrote it when I just saw these clouds when I was driving home from work, and I was like, that's a poem. And sometimes, big things are hard to think about. This is called Chewing. When the clouds descended, the vastness became apparent. The expanse was swallowed, infinity divided up among all my ages, the larger portions distributed to the older selves. I take hold of what is mine. It is awkward to hold, dripping with the repeated daily motions, every familiar question streaming down my chin, meaning stuck between my teeth. It is large and tastes shockingly like folding clothes, grocery shopping, staring at myself in the mirror, rice and beans. I package the remainder in Tupperware, stow it in my bottomless fridge, and question my elders whether the endlessness of it is always so bitter. The fortune cookie they deliver reads, try salt. I eat the fortune whole, wondering what the fuck that means.
I love everything you do. Ezekiel, that's so great. Congratulations. Yes, you can do it. Yes. We love it. So we have Judy, who's first time with us, and then June. And have I missed anybody that's come in that wants to sign up? Anybody over there? Okay. All right. So Judy, you guys think about it. If anybody's got a burning desire that didn't sign up, let me know.
Good evening, everyone.
Is that a good song?
Oh, yeah, it's all good. Thank you. My name's Judy. I write poetry. I have published a book on Amazon. We Have Love by Judy Bryant. And I have a published book, which I'll be reading from tonight, on Poetizer. Also, congratulations. It is my first night here, and it's a really good vibe. My first poem this evening is titled Light. All of these beautiful moments, fluttering by. How tragic it is that we are born to die. Heartbreaking words, untold stories laid the foundation of loved ones before me. Love and pain interwoven like tapestry. Thread the beginning for those who will come after me. A life is here, a life is gone the next. A life is so much more than a single strand of breath. When what's left can still be felt, whether whispered on wind or tears we do or do not cry, how tragic is it that we are born to die? The next one is The cost of staying relevant? Late one night, I was on TikTok, trying to find ways to improve my life, because if it's on the internet, it must be right? So I found this video. It started, "How to be dangerous." It said, "Dress classy, always wear a watch. It shows significance." Watch? Check, got it. But there was no fanfare for me when I bought it, yet this came to mind. My grandmother saying, "Always be on time. Look into people's eyes, no matter who they are." Okay, TikTok, that's fair, but beware, don't stare. 1, because staring is rude. 2, because what you seek is seeking you. Don't peek through a window whose door you wouldn't walk through. Never appear stressed. Always stay calm. TikTok, I can't follow you on this one. On the surface, I understand. Don't let people see they've ruffled your feathers, but how can you work past problems while suppressing what you're feeling and not working together? The video continued. Don't show your weakness. People may use it against you. But I found that letting walls down can open your eyes to who loves you. So if you want to be dangerous, it's your life, live it. Just be ready to accept the terms and conditions that come along with it. Everything perceived doesn't have to be believed. And every gift or message isn't meant to be received, at least not without a grain of salt. Be mindful of what you buy into before you're the one that's bought. And my last one, shucks. There was one that I wanted to read that started off a lot funnier, but anyway, I'm a little nervous.
No, don't be.
This one is titled Beat of the Message. Don't focus so much on the words that you miss the message. I heard that when God talked to Tupac, it sounded like gunshots, caught on pen and paper, ink trails that tapered, forming worlds that men couldn't break. Make no mistake, they say sticks and stones break the bones, but words can never hurt. You choose the words that define your worth, because words are just tools and only fools mishandle them. Pay attention to the school of thought you subconsciously enroll in. God, the universe, whatever made us, may have created our bodies, but words is what they gave us. When God allegedly told Adam to name them, the animals inside us, the animals that blind us, the animals that help us, like love, lust, lies, and trust. The power in our words stretches only beyond the physical. It runs rivers through us. Have you heard a chorus that gives you goosebumps, raises the dead within you? I raise you this question. How many times have you heard shit, hell, and damn, and still learned a lesson? The message is more than the words, like a home-cooked meal. It's power and love behind the words you feel, more than the ingredients combined. No dictionary defines what a word does, only what a word is. It's sad because Brenda doesn't know just because you're from the ghetto doesn't mean you can't grow. It doesn't matter if you see brown grass or green grass outside of your window. No matter how unpolished, jagged, rough, or broken, if you seek change, speak your message. Regardless of who listens, choose your words carefully. Not to fit the mold of a scripture or a hymn. Remember, words are tools, and if they don't like it, it was never for them. Thank you.
We didn't seem nervous. But I always like to say that if you're nervous or if you're anxious, it's excitement. Just think of it as instead of being nervous, you're excited. Instead of being anxious, you're excited. So that always helps me with my kids. So, and I even still get nervous doing this. So the last we have is Jude. Unless I missed anybody, just speak up. But yes, yeah, Jude.
I'm sorry, I forgot your name. What percentage of the population did you say was suicidal?
Dakota.
Or depressed?
Dakota.
I think the Dakota 19. And then 31 for ages 18 to 30.
As far as depression?
Oh, that one was depression.
Okay. So I heard this term, I don't know, somewhat recently, quietly suicidal. And that really spoke to me because I've been quietly suicidal since I was 5 years old. It always kind of made sense to me, like this is one of those things that's an option, right? I haven't been actively suicidal, thankfully, a few years, but there have definitely been times in my life. So I wrote this, I wasn't planning on reading it, but I was inspired. Quietly suicidal. Don't worry, I won't kill myself. I won't go out with a bang, but I will make my coffee with Kahlua. I'll take med freely and raw. I'll forget to eat, break the law. I'll drink and drive. Not to worry, I'm quite skilled. Mine will be the only brain cells and willpower killed. I'll smoke till I forget I had a plan. So this is in my book. It's not a book of poetry, but it is a book. Oh, Captain, my Captain. I am the ocean. You will drown if you do not know how to navigate my waters. So many have danced along my shoreline, dumping their pollution, taking whatever it is they find from my depths. Someday I will find a love to sail my seas, to care for my waters, to pull the discarded trash, to monitor the temperature out of love, not from a place of simply attempting to protect their mansion upon the shore. Someone who, even when it's hard, it's easy. Even when it hurts, it's worth it. Even when it's over, it's for always. And I think I have made it to that someday. I think I found my captain. And this is for him. Sticky notes. I can't say you're everything I ever dreamed of because I only ever have nightmares. You didn't sweep me off my feet. You paused by my side, took my hand, and followed my lead unsteady towards the future. I could just say I don't have words, but I don't know how to lie. They overcome and overwhelm. I am awash with syllables that clash like cymbals instead of build like symphony. Love, lust, longing, yearning, all are insufficient. I am a dealer in words, and yet they fail me. I can't describe the color purple to a blind man. How then can I describe the ways in which you make me feel loved? I write mental notes to you, then crumple them up and throw them away. Piles of bald paper fill every corner of my thoughts. They crowd my mind, bring a smile to my face and a flutter to my stomach. Needs being met I didn't know I had. You asked for consent that has already been given, just in case I changed my mind. Your kindness upheaves, dismantles, and untangles my pain. It feels like being carried to bed after pretending to fall asleep in the car. It tastes like the perfect mixed drink, sweet, spicy, and intoxicating. It smells like a grove of lilac in full bloom on a warm, sunny morning. It sounds like an apology for using a generic term of endearment because you know how I hate the word babe. Not a pig. It looks like the color purple. I wish you could climb into my body and experience the electrical storm you create in me just for a moment. Maybe someday I'll find the words. For now, I suppose I'll keep writing sticky notes.
Out to the end of the round that we had, Sonia asked if she could do another one. Does anybody have another one in them that want to do another one? So Sonia, did you want to? Did you have something? Yes, we get to break and talk to each other, but yeah. And tell us again where your book is at.
It's not mine squirrel, it's mine swirl. It's at lulu.com.
Okay.
This one's titled Cypress Pond Magic. The week before spring, we set on a mission, a kayak adventure mission, to a large pond we'd never been. We dragged our kayaks to the grassy edge. With a silly, sluggish scoop, we launched ourselves in. Our paddles felt heavy, a shiny garland of spongy green algae wrapped around them just briefly to say their hellos. As we glided into the black, murky water, our boats were escorted into a circle of Cypress Haven, the gift from the gods. The cypress stood like majestic, slender boards erected from black glass. Their gray ribs stretched from water roots to welcoming skies, with feathery branches, both cheerful and subdued, and sprouting infant buds with flecks of green forcing out the orange of fall and winter. We found ourselves in a winding, slender, amoeba-shaped pond that gently guided us into single lanes. A time for private observation of this regal sight, of this maze of solid and liquid. The smooth water surface reflected an infinite display of God's plantings, a temporary illusion and confusion of where earth meets air and water meets earth. Peripherally, the gray tree ribs resemble skeletons of 80 feet with plump bottoms, happily saluting at their positions, also greeting us in were dozens of smiling turtles draped over fallen wood. After the awe and a long-deserved silence, we raised our arms up to the heavens in sheer delight, screeched our approval like little kids in God's playground, hearts filled with gratitude. We knew without discussion we'd be back again.
Somebody else have a burning desire to do another one?
I'd like to read one more.
You want to do one more? Since it's your first time. Yeah. You probably wanted to.
Actually, if you give me a minute, it will take me a minute. It was so good.
Okay, I was actually going to kind of like bring everything back together. Got Sonia's got her new book. Klaus has got Carrie Allen and some books. Yeah, I've got some of his too. They're really good. We've got Anna's Tongue Brew. Nick has books too as well. Yes. And I don't know, I can't do that. What do you have right here? What is this? Something about fertilizer. That's where your book. Somebody's book is on that. So yes. So we also do freshly brewed poems. I've said at 5 points. It's on an afternoon one. It is at the senior center, and you do not have to be a senior to do that. So, but it's a really good one because we just sit around in a circle and just talk to each other, read poems to each other. Kind of really cool. Rainbow goes to that. Yeah. Did you find it?
Thank you, Debbie. After you said that, I was like, I have a table of contents for a reason. This one's titled, If I Must Die. I hope I die laughing on a white sand beach somewhere because my old ass friend's left titty fell out. I hope I die when my hair is the color of starlight. I hope I die with laugh lines, crow's feet, and cheeks that have felt decades of laughter. I hope I die having written many of my own chapters. I hope I die like a tree, feeding the ground that I called my home. For so long, I hope I die with so much love in my heart that it spills over my bedside and floods the room, creating a flowing river to carry any shed tears away. I hope I die first. I hope I die having lived. I used to hope to die, end of sentence. But I've told death, fuck you countless times, and somehow kept living, with each chapter bringing more pain and love and joy than I ever could have fathomed. But if I must die, then death may as well be a friend. But that old bastard will never wonder if I do it all again.
I think that's a good one. That was good. That was a good one in there. It's done. Hey, I always say, is it nobody's going to come? Nobody's going to come. And you guys, I think this is the biggest group I've seen in a long time. So thank you very much for me coming back from my sabbatical. I'm going to call it. So we'll be here next third Wednesday at same place. All right. Thank you.